for the I guess we've already started this Legends 34 Prop 2 broadcast on the fly here. We got a lot of new topics that we got to cover, especially with the Lakers, all their new development. Somebody behind the scenes probably calling the shots. So what you think?
Yeah, man. I want to welcome y'all to this Zoom edition of Legend 34, man. We had to get some stuff off our chest. You know, Friday, I think the Lakers fired Darvin Ham. They got rid of him after 2 seasons. He took them to the conference finals last season. This year, they draw Denver again, and they get bumped off in the first round. Now,
mid-season tournament.
Yeah, they can take. Look, hold on. Add that to Darvin Ham's resume.
I'm from Texas Tech, right? Like, that's our boy, right?
Yeah, that's right. He hometown. But add that mid-season tournament to his resume, and now it makes it really look more suspect that he got fired, because you got a conference finals appearance last season. You got in-season tournament victory this season, and now the man is gone simply because they can't avoid the Denver Nuggets. They can't get out of that line of fire from the Nuggets. Now, but the problem that I have, and that a lot of people are having, and I've been seeing, is that this has turned into a familiar process for LeBron James, to where if it don't happen like instantly, the coach becomes the fall guy. The coach becomes a scapegoat, and he has to go. Man, I'm not one of those people who always got something negative to say about LeBron or hating on LeBron or whatever. I like LeBron, but I don't like certain aspects of what I feel like he has a hand in, because it would be wrong to put it all on him, because I'm sure the front office and Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka and all that have a say-so too, but I know he's a powerful figure in that organization. And then Anthony Davis made some comments about a week ago during the series about how he didn't feel like they were prepared and all that. So, man, it's just not a good look when the coach always gets scapegoated, when you don't win, man. I ain't feeling that.
Right. But, I looked something up in the midst of all this, and, LeBron, according to Forbes, is listed at $1.2 billion. I have to point that out, man. We're living in a day and age, we're seeing something we've never seen before. This guy's worth half a franchise. I mean, if you try to find the cheapest NBA franchise, but we're seeing, and I acknowledge the body count, right? I mean, coach after coach
Yeah.
after coach after coach after coach, right? And I've always was suspect anyway. Like, LeBron is really the coach of these teams.
But you know what? And I was about to say that. Let's go back to Bill Russell Day. Just be the player coach then.
Right.
See, because the truth of the matter is this: great players have always had a hand in getting coaches removed that they didn't see eye to eye with the coach. You go back to Magic Johnson and Paul Westhead back in the early '80s. You can go all through history and find where guys with power. You can go to LeBron a few times before this one, but look, I would acknowledge that if you bring in a younger coach or an inexperienced coach, LeBron probably does know more about the game of basketball than those coaches. I'll acknowledge that. But on the same token, buy-in from your star player is instrumental in any coach's success. So I can come in and coach the Lakers. And if LeBron James and Anthony Davis get behind me and say, hey, man, we gonna rock with what K Reno says, and then everybody else will fall in line. But when the head of the snake ain't rocking with me, then I'm already a sitting duck. So let's bring some 2024 action. Let's go back to the 60s and bring it in 2024. LeBron, you just coach the team. You just coach. And that way, there's nobody to blame or scapegoat, because I think Darvin Ham did a great job. I think he did a great job under circumstances, man. I mean, they came from the play-in position last season, right? To make it to the conference finals. And they came from the were they in the play-in this year as well? Just to make it into that 7th seed or whatever. So I mean, it's just a bad look to me, man. And but to your point though, the power that these players have, it makes it impossible for any coach not named Popovich, Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, Spoelstra. It makes it impossible for anybody that doesn't have those names to come in and really command a guy like a LeBron James. Because even if you try to, it's going to be a clash the first time you say something or run something that he don't want to run, or you run something that don't work. Not cool, man.
And again, it's hard to not suspect these things when you hear stories. I don't know if you heard this story, but heard that a rookie on a opposing team, they're running a play, and they're standing at the free throw line, and this is the opposing team he's on the floor against, right? And the other team members on the other team are getting mad at the rookie because he didn't run the play right. Yeah. And LeBron tells the rookie what the play that they're supposed to be running on the opposing team.
Yeah.
Again, how do we not suspect this man's basketball mind? He's worth $1 billion and he's not calling the shots on the Lakers. Come on, man.
Yeah, and he's a cash cow.
Yes.
So by the fact that he's a cash cow, these organizations understand the kind of revenue he generates being a part of the organization. So there's gonna be a degree of capitulation. They're gonna bow down to him in certain, because when he left Cleveland, and that's one of the reasons why the Cleveland owner Dan Gilbert was so mad, because when he left Cleveland, that economy took a hit. All those businesses around that arena, they was starving out. Then when he came back to Cleveland, the business picked back up. So if you are interested at all in your bottom line, then you're gonna bow down and give LeBron what he wants. I want to have my people with me on the plane. I want to have my cousin with me on the bus and all this stuff. So you're gonna bow down to that, you know. But me personally, hey man, I'm gonna run my organization the way I want to run it. You know, if LeBron comes to my team, you know, he's got rules and regulations that he got to abide to too. And as long as you're a player, you need to be able to be coached. I understand the knowledge that you have, you know, because he knows the game. So he was probably telling the little rookie the right way. But you know, the NBA is a copycat league, so everybody pretty much runs the same stuff anyway, you know. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I just don't like when guys get just fired like that, man. You know, it's like it's just 2 seasons. They fired Frank Vogel the season after he won the championship.
Yeah.
Because that's basically saying we supposed to win the championship every single year. And if you don't win the championship, and it's not just the Lakers, because they did it to Budenholzer in Milwaukee. You know, they won the championship. They got beat in the first and second round the following season, and they fired Budenholzer. I'm like, you just don't see that. What if that would have happened back in the days when the Lakers and the Celtics was playing? And okay, the Celtics beat the Lakers this year, but even though the Lakers won the year before, Pat Riley, you gone.
Right.
Or KC Jones, you beat the Lakers, but now you lost the next year. KC Jones, you gone. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. It's just a different kind of thing. I want to talk about this Pat Beverly thing, man.
Oh, yeah. You
just saw it.
About this. I had heard about he is now banned off ESPN because of some type of social media exchange, I believe. But you're enlightening me about this was the pivotal game 6 elimination game.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, he's on the bench and a lady throws a ball at him from what we've seen in the video, and he fires it back.
No, what happened was he had the ball,
tossed
and he fired the ball into that crowd, and he hit the lady in the head.
Oh.
Somebody threw the ball back to him for whatever reason, and he fired it back. But now what they said was the lady wasn't his intended target. He wasn't trying to hit the lady at first. So when the ball got thrown back, he fired back at his intended target. But the damage is already done, man. And I hated to see it because we know, you know me and you know, Pat Beverly got his break with the Rockets.
Oh yeah, man.
Came in as a Rocket, and it was a guy who had been playing overseas, and Kevin McHale signed him on and gave him an opportunity because he was a hard-nosed, hustling defensive guy, and he'd been in the league ever since. So he got his big break, and now you look up 12 years later, this man's a 12-year pro in the league now in a situation where his career might be on the line, bro.
Right.
Because a suspension is coming. Now, depending on the length of that suspension or depending on the details of it, look, just keeping it real. You're a dude like Pat Beverly, you're not a star player. You're not even an all-star guy. You know, you're not a KD, LeBron, Steph, Giannis type of guy. You're not even an all-star guy. You've been in the league 12 years, very good role player, solid guy to have, but the league don't really need a Pat Beverly. If Pat Beverly never plays another game in the NBA ain't gonna lose no sleep. So to just jeopardize your livelihood, man, and your career like that, man, I was like, when he did, I was like, no, like, come on, Pat, like, come on, man. Come on, man. You know. And
Well,
I have go ahead.
I think it started, if I remember this correctly, kind of when this, I guess this image of him, if you will, started to surface when he hurt Westbrook.
Yeah.
He was suspended, and Westbrook was out for the season, and then it's been hard, I think, to shake that off, given the physical type of player he is, man. But this is, out of, I guess, maybe a little more out of bounds what we're normally seeing him do.
Literally out of bounds. He's
Right.
literally out of bounds. But everything he ever did was on the court.
Yes.
The injury you mentioned to Westbrook, that was on the basketball court. When he pushed Chris Paul in the back that year, that was on the basketball court. Everything was within those lines, that triangle, that rectangle. But this, we've seen situations with the Brawl in the Palace when they ran the stands and beat the hell out of the fans in the stands in Detroit. We've seen our own beloved Vernon Maxwell running to the stands, I think in Portland he ran. So it situations have happened that crossed over the court. But in this day and age, man, in this internet day and age, man, where stuff like that gonna pop off immediately, and in the need to protect the brand, man, I just really feel like they're gonna hit him hard, man. And my only hope now, because he was wrong. They just call it for what is wrong. You don't do that. You don't let your emotions get to you. But my only hope now is that he don't get kicked out the league. He might get 50 games or something. But like I say, this dude been in the league 12 years. The league don't really need him. He could be gone, man. Because now if just say he gets 50 games, Doug, and now it's time for him to come back. I don't even know if he was a free agent after this season.
Right.
But teams, for the sake of the public image of their franchise, they might not even want to bring this guy in now, because this is what he did to a fan. So this could be it, man.
This be Isaiah Ryder all over again, or those type of players, that kind of got blackballed, if you will. They had their incidents, and that was it. We didn't really see them around the NBA much anymore or involved.
Man, a lot of wild things have happened in the league. Sprewell choked PJ Carlesimo. The guys were able to come back from that because, like I said, even with the Brawl in the Palace, all those guys still played in the league years after that. But it put such a big black eye on the game and on, I guess on their names and reputations, man. And I get it, man. Sometimes these fans will say something. If they say something too out of pocket, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? If it, I don't know, a racial slur or something like that, but you never know. I'm not saying that's what happened, but at the end of the day, you got to look at the big picture to say, you know what, man, is it worth me? Whatever the guy may have said, or is it even worth it? Like I'm in the league, I'm making all this money. You paying to come see me, come to see the game. So I just hope the man don't lose his career behind a bad mistake. That was a bad. Yeah. I saw something else too, man. What you got? You want to throw something else in there?
Might be the same thing, man. We're probably so like-minded. Was what you was talking about, the change of the landscape of the NBA now. All the old heads are out. We got this whole new batch of players. It's keeping it fresh and new. It's worth mentioning. This is a kind of a paradigm shift, if you would, and it's I like it. Like you said, yeah, these new players some shine.
Yeah, it's coming. You got guys like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards showed yesterday in
Wow,
game 1 against Denver. Like, man, that dude.
I'm coming, man. I'm here. Yeah,
Oh, he here. Yeah, he's here.
playing. He's doing the Avengers of LeBron. So
Yeah. No, he is in the building. He's live on stage already. No, ain't no mic check. He already performing. He's shut it down. But yeah, I was watching this here. I was watching Club Shay Shay. I saw the Charles Barkley interview, and man, they said something that made me. I had the sound up. I was in the restroom shaving. They said something made me run out the bathroom. Um, Shannon Sharp said that Nikola Jokic is the greatest foreign-born NBA player ever. And I took off running out the bathroom when I came just to see if it was. I wanted to make sure it wasn't AI. So,
who said that?
I think Barkley said it. Barkley might have said it, and then Shannon Sharp may have co-signed it. But then he did. One of them said, "Oh, Shannon said, what about Olajuwon?" And Barkley was like, "Well, yeah, I love Olajuwon. I played with him now." But then he said he don't really consider Olajuwon in that category because Hakeem played college down here. He had been out here for a while, but it don't matter. He's still a foreign-born player.
Yeah, come on, man.
So look, the Joker is a bad dude. I make no mistake. It took me a while to get sold on the Joker because I was like, man, he just seemed like he ain't doing nothing. This was a couple of years back, but now, I recognize the impact that he has on the game and that he's a champion. But man, don't get ahead of yourself because we're gonna talk about eras. He's not facing the competition at center every night, that Olajuwon did during this era, year in and year out. The game is a lot easier to play and manipulate. And Hakeem just had a tougher road in a tougher era, in my opinion. And Hakeem got 2 back-to-back. Now, Joker gets another one this year. Maybe now you can maybe argue that a little stronger. But I remember 4 or 5 years ago, or a few years back when Dirk won it out, they were trying to say Dirk was the best foreign-born player of all time. So, I mean, I think it's just one of those things where they just bounce it from player to player who's hot at the moment, but nobody's going to supplant Olajuwon in that spot.
No way, man. Ever. Yeah, it's hard to say ever, but man, as far as right now, man, no way, man. I mean, I guess I get because he was a Cougar for, was it 4 years?
He played 3, but the point is he still came from Nigeria. It didn't matter if he went to college over here or not. He still played. He still came from another country, so he classified as a foreign-born player who's top 50, top 75, Hall of Fame, all-time leading blocks, back-to-back champion, defensive player of the year, MVP, finals MVP, all in the same year. You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff. And I look at the road that Olajuwon went down to get his 2 championships, the competition. He wiped out the center crop in that 2-year span. Because if you remember, Doug, it used to be a time, if you can go back to before all the centers ever won a championship, that was a time where you had to argue, like, who was better out of Hakeem and Patrick Ewing? Who's better out of David Robinson and Shaq? It was 4 or 5 of them that had never won, so you could argue. In that 2-year span, Hakeem elevated above all of them to where he's number 1 now. And the rest, Jokic I don't see Jokic having to go through that type of competition at his position, So that's just me.
And I love bringing the subject up because we get to talk about things that don't get talked about. Here's one. I love to talk about this, right? The Dream Team.
Yeah,
People don't know this, right?
yeah.
Hakeem would have been on that team. Why not? He was not a citizen at that juncture.
Yeah.
It went into, I believe, a couple 94, 93.
96.
He became an American citizen. That allowed him to play on the next team, which he did win a gold medal.
Right,
It's
right.
worth mentioning the what if. It wouldn't have been David Robinson on that squad.
Yeah. But you know, they may have still included David because David's, you know, he's a Navy guy. So
Maybe.
David might have still made it, but the problem I had with the Dream Team was that they had we have to include a college guy, you know, because even by King not being a citizen, okay, that rules him out, but they could have put Shaq on that team.
That's right.
That would have really made it dominant. Or if it wasn't so much animosity and beef going on, Isaiah Thomas deserved to be on that team. He had too many people on the team that wasn't really rocking with Zeke like that. But the first choice for me would have been Isaiah Thomas to be in that spot. You know, I don't even know who made the rule. It just had to be a college guy on the team.
You would have put a Zeke over Dream? I'm curious.
Well, only thing is, Dream wasn't a citizen at that time.
I'm saying that what if though?
But hypothetically, if I had to pick,
that's a tough one. I'd pick Dream.
You know, we're Olajuwon fans, so I would have loved to seen Hakeem playing on that team. But I think what they were thinking was that, you know, you got the All-American guy, David Robinson, and you got Patrick Ewing. So they felt like they were straight at the center position. They didn't need another big guy like that. But in '96, they carried three guys because David, Hakeem, and Shaq was on the squad. So they could have pulled it off, but I personally would have liked to have seen Isaiah Thomas be on that team, you know, over just having a college guy on the team, you know.
Right.
You know, that just kind of they would have had to put a lot of differences aside they had with Zeke to let him play, but for the sake of history, that would have been ugly, man. That would have been ugly.
Yeah, man. Dream was one of a kind, man. We could sit here make the whole broadcast about Dream.
No question, man. No question, man. I like Joker's a bad dude, but man. Let's not go down that road because that's only three. There's only two dominant centers in the league. That's Embiid and Joker. Now, as far as next tier, who else?
Right.
Rudy's a good defensive guy, played good D yesterday on Joker, but it's not 5, 6, 7 guys. You can go down the line in the 90s and take a guy like a Rick Smits, who was really, really good center back in the 90s that would be dominant today.
Oh, yeah.
So Alonzo Mourning was a really, really good center, Hall of Fame center. Mutombo, these guys are in the Hall of Fame playing that era, and they were considered second tier in Dream's era.
Yeah.
So,
Tree Rollins, huh? There goes a name for you. Tree Rollins. He makes every Michael Jordan highlight, huh?
Oh yeah. So,
but by all means, if you're still on NBA, you had another topic.
No. Just real quick, just shout out because we just wanted to hit him with a quick one real fast. I see. Shout out to Cleveland Cavaliers. They moved on. They won a big game 7 today.
Yeah.
They moved on. See, that Orlando team is dangerous, man. This is their first. This is a lot of these guys' first time in the playoffs, man. If you go down that team list, all of those guys are super young, and majority of them have never been in the playoffs. So to take a veteran Cleveland team who got a lot of playoff experience to take them 7 games like that, Cleveland needed all 4 of those home, because the home team won every game. So Cleveland moves on. Jared Allen didn't even play, so that was a big win for them. So now you're getting to that point where we get down to that final 8, and Orlando going to be a problem in years to come. I think they need another guy to go next to Paolo Banchero. But
I'm glad you brought him up because I was just about to talk about him.
Yeah.
Remember the draft, not even 3 years ago.
Yeah, man.
The Rockets would have kept their mouth shut.
Man.
What if? I'm always into the what ifs.
Yeah, nah, that's a good point. One day.
Look at those numbers he's putting up in crucial moments. He had 38 tonight.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about this one day. I said, man, just imagine if things would have went. And look, I love our young guys we got now.
Too, but what if?
But if we would have got Paolo and Wemby, just imagine we had if the draft would have lined up right where we'd have ended up got Paolo and then got Wemby. Oh man, even if you say okay, we still got Jalen Green, or it could have been Cade Cunningham. We could either have Cade Cunningham, Paolo Banchero, and Wemby, as opposed to, but we end up having Jalen, Jabari, and Amen Thompson. That's not bad. I think we're gonna be all right. But woo-wee, if they called you right now and said we'll give you Wemby for Amen Thompson, I gotta make that deal, man. I gotta make that deal.
I guess I got my light flashing over here, but about to die. So I guess we'll conclude this to the next one, the next episode. So drop a comment, subscribe, drop a like, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Catch y'all next time, man. Peace.